everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the RIP Tour podcast. I am your tour guide, Tim, and we are back with another episode because some things have happened and been announced since we've spoken to you last. There's some of us here tonight. Others are sleeping. I don't know what others are doing, actually. But I can't do this by myself, so I have Liz. Hello, Liz. How are you tonight?
Hello. You can tell.
Did you notice I said tonight? How are you tonight?
Exactly. You can tell by my backdrop that it's my favorite time of night if you're watching on YouTube. This was made for me. Yes, I'm very happy to be here.
Excellent. And then we have Ash. Ash, how are you, man?
We came, we saw. No, I'm good. Unlike Liz, who's got like a really nice setup going on, I'm still working out the kinks with it's the lights off, it's too dark, it's on, it's too bright. So It'll be better. It'll be better moving forward. But I'm good, Tim. How are you?
I'm good. I have my nice new setup here.
I love it.
That came in yesterday, so I'm pretty excited. So now I just have one more piece that Jason has for me, and then we'll be really good to go on this side.
Gary's going to be so happy with you.
Yeah,
so happy.
Well, I sent him the picture. Gauntlet. I sent him the picture. He was all excited. He's like, yeah. I was like, I know. All right, so we're here for something. What are we here for? Oh, HHN. I forgot. So a couple things have happened since we have spoken to you last. So we had a speculation. I think it's 3.5. Is that what they called it?
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yep, 3.5.
Okay. Basically, the big thing here is we actually got all the scare zones on it. So, but we'll get to that in a minute. And then we had another house announcement. Dun 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 dun. The worst kept secret ever, at least in my eyes.
100%.
Yeah. So we had Ghostbusters finally announced. I think we're probably all thinking why they didn't do this first, and they saved it for until now, which is kind of weird, but all good. Overall thoughts, Ash, I'm just going to go on my screen. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm excited for it, if I'm being honest. I know there's sort of tempered expectations in terms of what they can deliver. I'm sure we'll compare it to the original house we got in 29 in a couple of minutes or so, but just first off the bat, I'm excited for it. It's a different property. I think I might have been a little bit not annoyed if the first one was coming back again because of the anniversary year. I think I had a bit, I think they want another shot at that one anyway, but I'm excited for it. I think March would have been good. I know you kind of touched on it in Tim when Frozen Emperor actually came out, final week of March, wherever it was. So it's weird timing, but yeah, I'm excited. Another property sort of check off the list.
For sure. And then Liz, what are you thinking from this announcement?
Yeah, so I did my Halloween Horror Nights homework yesterday after it was announced, just immediately rented it and watched it. So now I can actually form an opinion. I think I preferred the first movie of the reboot series to this one, but I can understand why they chose this one. Obviously, the timeliness of it and the Frozen Empire aspect of it, having a snowy house. We love a nice frozen house. So I understand why they chose it. Like you said, I feel like this should have been announced with the momentum of the movie releasing. I don't know if they were trying to aim for when it was coming out on, do people even buy DVDs anymore? I don't know, when it was getting digitally released.
Right.
But I'm sure that has something to do with the contract of why they waited. I do think it would have had a little more hype earlier in the season, because I think at this point everyone's like, oh yeah, Ghostbusters, we knew it. But I think there's potential there for sure.
Agreed. I also did my homework yesterday, Liz. I also rented it because I had not seen it as well. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'm with you, Liz. I think the first one of this installment of the Ghostbusters series was a lot better than this one. It was still enjoyable, great popcorn movie, if you will. You got to see like 5 of the original characters in this movie as well. So I think that kind of like brings me back to the whole, okay, it doesn't matter if it's 1 or 2 because we're still getting those characters in this house, in this movie, if you will. So I think that's going to be the biggest thing for us. And I think this is really cool that we all did the Ghostbusters house, back, what was it, 29? Is that what it was? Right?
Yeah.
So we'll get to compare from then, and what they do now. Obviously, I think we all probably have hopes for what could be in this house that maybe they kind of missed on last time, or just things from the newer movie, that would be really cool. I think we're all in agreement. We love that frozen and that ice cold, theming that's probably going to go on in this house, which is going to be sick. I love the fact that almost the entirety of this movie takes place in New York City.
Yeah.
Out and about. So, I've got thoughts and stuff on that. But so let's throw it back to you, Ash. Like, what are you hoping to see in this house? If you have any thoughts of maybe, from the first one, like, did they miss out on something? Do you want to see something in this house from that could be in it as well because of the new movie? So.
Yeah, I think with you guys, I did prefer Afterlife over Frozen Empire, but like you said, it's set in New York City, right? Afterlife is all in Oklahoma. So the source material we're working with is going to be good. In terms of what I'm looking to see, I know Universal did say they're going to have Razor Cut bookstore, Razor Cut books. We have we have the lab for sure in there as well. Now, obviously, it eventually gets colder in the maze, but the first bit of the movie, if you want to skip, if there's a bit of a spoiler if you haven't seen the movie yet, but because it's going to be some people's homework this summer, but it starts with the Manhattan Adventurers Club, and that's all frozen over to start with, and then the rest of the movie is sort of like getting to the frozen bit again. So do you guys think they're going to start frozen, kind of temper off and go back to frozen, or are we going to have it the whole way through, just like right off the bat?
I think the facade has to be frozen. With the theme of the movie, I think we're starting off frozen for the facade at the very least, and then probably working our way through the bookstore, through the lab, and probably ending with another finale that's all frozen again.
Yeah, I would agree.
I agree with that too. So, all right, Liz, what are you hoping for in this house?
Yeah, I think the interesting thing is so much of the movie takes place on the streets of New York City. So I'm curious to see how they're going to replicate that. I would love to see, a trip back to the library, because we do feature the library and there, maybe the lions from the library somehow. And of course you have to have Slimer, right? You have to have Slimer. Yes. And my other big question, how are you going to recreate the little tiny Stay Puft Men? Because they're CGI in the movie.
I love those guys.
Yeah.
And you have to have at least one scene where they're kind of like the gingerbread men in Krampus, maybe.
I think that's perfect. I think they're going to be like the little, just little guys, like maybe like placed all over the place kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they get their own scene as well, but it would be really cool just to see them kind of scattered throughout the house. The different ones, like the one in the car at the end where he sticks the cigarette lighter in his face.
Yes,
just
having them hidden throughout as Easter eggs would be fun.
That'd be a lot of fun.
How many can you find? That'd be fun.
So the only thing that I'm going to say, I agree with all you guys with what you said for the houses and what we want. The only thing that I need and I want, I don't care if it's in the queue. I don't care if it's outside. I don't care if it's at the end. Ecto 1 has to be somewhere in this house or in the vicinity of it, because, man, I'm not sorry for saying this, but Universal, you blew it last time by not having that car there. So that is the only thing I'm going to say. But I am looking forward to this house. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's just going to be like, that feeling when you've walked through like the house of a movie for the first time and you're just like, yeah, they really did a good job just like giving you the movie right in front of you. And I expect nothing less from Universal. So
absolutely.
Yeah, I think for the Ecto 1 as well, because I think this is going in Soundstage 23. But it's going to be where Blood Moon entrance is, not Stranger Things entrance, right? Or is it going to be really? Stranger Things entrance?
I thought it was going to be like Exorcist entrance, which is, I guess, the like main music plaza.
Hang on, let me look.
Oh, yeah, yes, no, you're right. Yes, it will be where Exorcist was and where you went to Spirit, right?
Actually, I take it back because it depends on the speculation map. The previous speculation map had it at Music Plaza. The new one has it moved up to like Jimmy Fallon entrance. So I'm not quite sure.
Oh, okay. So
I was just going to say the Jimmy Fallon entrance is the latest one.
Okay, that's why I'm getting confused then. Okay, because if it's where Music Plaza stage is, where like the Exorcist and was last year, I think we could fit the Ecto 1 in there on the way in. That'd make sense. You could sort of have it in the sort of queue at some part. That's probably the easiest way to get it in as well, I would assume.
Yeah, I think actually from what I know, I do think this latest speculation map is correct that it's in the Jimmy Fallon entrance.
It was going to be okay. So where Stranger Things 4 entrance was last year.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Give me the car at the end then. You know, maybe it'll be,
Okay.
you know, it'll be Finn Wolfhard's character, or you know, like he's finally getting to drive the Ecto 1 at the end or something. There, so you know, something fun like that. I don't know. I feel like they need to make up for that last time, and they need to have that car there. That's all.
I agree.
I'm very upset if it's not there again. Though. That will suck. Any other thoughts about Ghostbusters from you guys?
Well, I think we should watch the trailer that they put out yesterday.
Oh, great idea, Liz.
Yes, let's do it.
Run that.
Warning: unusual audio-visual activity in your house.
I love this town.
You're on thin ice, buddy.
Yeah, if you say so.
Mijo, get your butt in here. You left the TV on and this room is a disaster. You picked the wrong neighborhood.
Face an icy new evil. Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire. Only at Universal Halloween Horror Nights, where horror lives.
I think this is a pretty awesome commercial, in my opinion. What are you guys thinking of that? Ash, what did you think of that?
I loved it. Yeah, I really liked it. I know the original one was a little bit nostalgic because it had the art, you know, he had the archers in there and the security guard, and then obviously they came with the you know, to bust some ghosts. But this was good. I love the nod to the little game of chess. It was cool. You know, he said you're on thin ice, a little, you know, a nice little touch. It'd have been good if we didn't know what the announcement was, and we kind of got that, and then you're on thin ice. That'd be cool to kind of like, having to guess what the announcement was. But I think it hit everything I wanted it to. It had that little Otis thing in again. Is that like, I guess, the mascot for this event as well? I don't know what's going on there, but I liked it. Short and sweet.
Nice. All right, Liz, what about you?
Yeah, I would like to know why she had a proton pack just chilling, but
Just laying around,
just
hanging
laying
out?
around, ready to go. But I guess, you know, if you're in New York City and
You got to be prepared.
all of this has been happening, right? Maybe they just gave them out to everyone. You know,
That's right.
Can never be too prepared.
Yeah, I this was just a fun commercial. Can we talk about the arches though for a minute?
Sure.
Because I want to know what's going on there.
Yeah.
What is that looking like to you?
I don't know if that's like our overall theme, like that's our overall vibe for the
Right.
year, you know, because I think a lot of these commercials, they have the blob thing from beneath the
Right.
sewers at the beginning, and then
Right.
it transitions to the gate before we go into the preview. So yeah, I guess he's not an icon, not a mascot, but just the overall monstrous vibe for the year.
Yeah, and they're linking it back to the where horror lives, you know, so all
Yeah.
horror comes from that. It looks like Vecna's sort of
That
dreamscape too.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
gave me the Stranger Things vibes there for a minute. But obviously it's not. You know, we're not getting anything Stranger Things there. But
No.
yeah, pretty wild. I love it. All right. So should we move on maybe to the spec map now?
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk the spec.
All right, let me bring that up. So I have that. So spec map 3.5. Obviously, we just got Ghostbusters announced, so that would, you know, turn into the color version of that. So now the biggest difference is we have all of the scare zones have pictures now. So let's just go get right into it. Is that Plaza of the Stars? Is that what you call that area when you first walk down?
I think they're calling it Minions Way or something now.
It's new now, right?
now.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going Minions Way. So that's the first thing. I'm not really sure what this is. This looks like almost a cue ball, but it's not. It almost looks like an eyeball, but it's not.
Or maybe a specific eyeball that's from the gates.
Yeah. So is this okay? So I guess this is where I was leading to with the gates. So on the top of the top arch, it's the same eyeball, right?
Very similar.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So guesses as to what this scare zone could be. Ash, what are you thinking?
You in recent times, this has been the table of contents, where you walk in and like, hey, this is what's in our event this year. So I assume that this, if they put this arch up, maybe instead of the sort of rigging they put up with the Halloween Horror Nights, that is going to be the arch you walk into, and there's going to be sort of scare actors from maybe each zone, maybe from a couple of their original mazes. Usually table of contents. That's my guess. Yeah.
That's fair. Liz, you thinking the same thing?
Same page. I think this is going to be the welcome zone, just kind of giving you the taste of what you can expect.
I think we were all on the same page for that one. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll move down. It looks like we're gonna head down to New York now. So this has changed from the last one, right?
Yes,
I don't think there was one there last time. There was one in Hollywood and one in San Francisco.
You're right, correct. Okay. Sorry, my bad. It's the next one that actually changed the picture. Okay. So it looks like we have like a like a skull with a biker helmet on it.
Right.
Yep.
Now, the thing is, if you kind of scan in and get this a little bigger, what is on his helmet?
So my first thought zooming in was that it was a werewolf.
Oh,
And
okay.
So my first thought was devil dogs as a scare zone.
Oh.
But I'm hearing other people say apocalypse bikers. So I don't know.
Apocalypse bikers. Interesting. Ash, any thoughts or anything else like you've heard or anything?
No, nothing I've heard really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what's funny this year is you always hear, because like in terms of the mazes, we knew what was coming, right? Just put it on the table. We know what's coming.
Right.
We never spoil anything or even post hints. We just don't do that. In terms of scare zones, I'm sort of like blind completely, just being completely transparent there. I haven't zoomed in. It looked like a ram. Do you know, like the horns of a ram on the biker helmet? But,
I can see that from zoomed
you know what
out,
I mean?
yeah.
From like zoomed out. But if it's like werewolf, devil dogs makes sense. Maybe with Slaughter Cinema 2 there. Apocalypse bikers, sure, why not? But yeah, I mean, it's a big zone to fill.
Am I crazy too? If you actually look at this and actually enlarge it as best you can, it almost looks like it could be a Yeti too.
Maybe.
You're not wrong. And
right?
the skull is not a human skull.
Definitely not.
Right.
It is definitely not a human skull. Oh, I'm very
Yeti bikers.
Oh my god. That's it. Sign me up. Let's go. All right. Now we'll move along down to San Francisco. Okay, so this is where an actual picture change has happened. So I think on the last map, it was kind of like almost looked like a girl-ish skull with, I don't know if it was a spider behind her or some kind of things.
It looked like pigtails. That's what it looked like. Or
pigtails, yeah, something like that. So now it is changed to basically a bunch of like blocks, like ABC blocks, that you would play with when you were a kid, and a teddy bear. So I'm going to go the opposite way. Liz, what are we thinking here?
So my first thought was, are we getting a house turning into a scare zone? We're getting Dollhouse of the Damned as a scare zone? That's where my brain went. Definitely toys.
Okay.
Something to do with toys.
Okay. Ash, what about you?
Yeah, I know you said Dollhouse of the Damned. My brain's ticking a little bit. It's funny how we all have little...
You just got Ash very excited.
Yeah, sort of thought. Some of those rooms in Dollhouse were disturbing. So, I mean, last time it was the girl with pigtails. This time it still looks like kiddie vibes, right? Blocks, number blocks, and a teddy bear. I did initially think, or hear, maybe both, that this zone may be connected to Major Sweets because the kids eventually, eat the candy, whatever they do there, they end up getting sick and then turn into raging little killers. So it would make sense. It's still sort of referring to kids with the blocks and Bayer. So I'm going to stick with the sort of Major Sweets incorporated zone there.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you on that, Ash. I feel like this might dump out, and it's just going to be all the kids now, just out there. Whether it's going to be called Major Sweet Zone or whatever, I don't know, or they're going to call it something entirely different. But it feels like it might tie into that house because isn't that where the house? Yeah, that's where Major Sweets is supposed to be too.
Yes.
A rollout,
So,
like a little
yeah.
epilogue. Is that what an epilogue is? Like, is that at the end? An epilogue, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah, is that what you mean? Yeah.
Because the prologue would be in the beginning.
Right. There you go.
There you go.
So maybe that. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I think we're all in agreement on this. Okay. So if you move along, we have the purple box. It's not a scare zone. This is going to be the show. I mean, should be what has been there for what has it been there for the last 2 years now?
3, hasn't it?
3,
Nightmare?
I think. Yeah.
Nightmare Fuel 3 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's going to be some kind of form of whatever show. It's just going to be a different theme.
So a little tagline on the end because last it was Wildfire, wasn't it, last year?
Yeah.
And then so a little tagline on the end probably this year too.
All right, so then we're going to move on into Central Park.
Oh, can we just stop for a minute, Tim, for
We
10-4,
can.
just so I can just look at
what
the
you-
Bride of
what you-
Frankenstein's house and just
I mean,
just daydream,
if I had to take a guess, if I were them, I would save this till last. to
Oh
announce it.
my gosh, yeah. Sorry to
Only
derail
2
us a
more to
little
go.
bit.
It's only 2 more to go.
I know.
mean, if we're going off this, hey, listen, this is a guess. Insidious, and obviously some kind of female version or another Bride's Universal Monsters house. Yeah, Ash is like, please. Do we still,
Honestly, they could give me that entire maze again, the exact same way.
I'm with you.
They can even put plexiglass in it again. I don't care. It's so good.
I don't know about that, but I'm with you.
Yeah.
But do you think this is going to be like a part 2, or do you think this is going to be a female overall Universal Monster?
Ash
house?
wants the sequel.
I know he
I
does.
want the sequel.
I'm with you. I would love the sequel too, but I'm kind of intrigued if they were to do everything female version
Mhm.
too. So
Yeah.
I'll be good with either one.
Same.
Yeah.
Okay.
Same.
Make sure of both. Yeah.
All right, there's nothing new on that for the houses anyway, so we're moving on. Okay,
Yep,
so
sorry,
now that we've paused for Ash's ode to the Universal Brides or Monsters. All right, so we're moving into Central Park. So this one had a picture too, correct?
No, not last time.
So okay, so this was somewhere else, but it was a different picture. It was because
Yeah.
I think it's the same zone. I just think it's a different picture, and it's now moved to Central Park.
Yeah, it was in
So,
Hollywood last time.
It was in Hollywood, correct. And we'll get to the one in Hollywood because that one I am very intrigued by that one. I don't think Liz is. I could just tell by reactions. Anyway,
How'd you know?
so yeah. So the last time, so the form of this picture was in Hollywood, and it was basically a sugar skull. It's the only way to describe what it was.
Yep.
So now it's a sombrero. All right. So Liz, are we still thinking that this is, Day of the Dead, themed scare zone?
That's where my brain goes, especially because we had the sugar skull before. I just have to assume it's Day of the Dead. And I think that area, the Central Park area, would be beautiful for it because they could put so much in the trees, lanterns in the trees. And then they have those areas that are fenced off that guests can't get to that they could do like full vigils and displays. I think, I think it could be beautiful.
Okay. Ash, what about you?
Yeah, I'm on the exact same page. Central Park. So I feel it's more nostalgia than anything because I mean, like we say, Tim, Central Park was always like one of our favorite zones, right? But
Yeah.
I feel like it's not fell off a cliff the last sort of 3,
No, you
4
can say
years.
it has kind of
you
fallen
know,
off
it
and
really,
gone off
you
the
know, I
cliff.
think it has. Yeah, so it's not been fantastic. The last few years, I think last year was okay, but
Yeah.
Anyway, well, Day of the Dead.
You're like,
so,
where are we? What zone?
Yeah, Dia de los Muertos. They could, you know, super vibrant. They could, like Liz said, they could use those areas on the grass. What else? What else could be in there? Oh, it's so funny as well because I was thinking of Liz when people were talking about this. Somebody said it looks like a sombrero but a spaceship, so Mexican aliens.
Oh my God! Stop.
So. Yeah, but this is I like to say there's no smoke without fire. It was the sugar skull and then sort of the sombrero, so something that
Agreed.
sort of culture, I think.
Agreed.
Just aliens with tacos.
Oh, please.
Right?
Here, have a taco.
The pinata.
Thank you. I'm with you guys on this. So I think this is in a good spot now. So you know the little bar that's on the side there on the right-hand side? Like as if you're coming down from Hollywood. They always, at least for now, I think the last couple of years, they have like the colors they repainted.
Yes, you're right.
It's been Day of the Dead themed.
Correct.
Right.
So my question is here for both of you guys. Obviously, we want, you know, the lighting and stuff, but do you think we get those bright, vibrant colors somehow in this zone? Not that I'll say it's a like a black light version, but those kind of like, you know what I'm saying when I say the black light version of those colors?
Yes, so
yeah, okay.
So we had a black light version of Day of the Dead in 2010. So I
did
don't
not know
want
that.
them
Okay.
to. Yes.
Okay.
So I forget what it was called. Do you remember what it was called, Ash?
Escalator Muerte.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it was very neon costumes, black light themed. So if they're going to do it again, I think they'll steer away from that because that'll be too much of a repeat. I think this might be more bright, colorful things. Maybe, you know, the beautiful makeup with the skulls painted on and just adding in more atmosphere lighting rather than black lights.
That's fair. Okay.
They might bring some of those back because Escalator Muerte means dead skeletons, and that's what they were. Those sort of bright. What's it called? What was it called? Bright reflective lighting. So maybe you could even bring a couple of those back for that zone too. Just a little nod to it, maybe.
Yeah.
I also wouldn't mind if like from previous scare zones, you know, like the faces lighting up where they had the lights inside, like you know what I'm saying? Like
that would be cool.
That could be cool too.
Very much so.
I think this is just I'm looking forward to this zone. I think this one has a lot of potential.
This is Central Park's redemption arc.
I hope so. Please. All right, so moving along, we discussed this the last time. The little bow is in a green box. We think this is probably going to be the Megan Horde again. Not really sure why. I mean, I know we're getting a Megan 2, but I don't think I think that's still another year out or something.
The general public loved the Megans.
They did, and I get it. I did watch it, and I did enjoy how they like would come out from everywhere and then just, you know, get together and just do their little dance and stuff. But I think I have a problem with things like repeating, especially like the year after.
Yeah.
I get it. It's hot, but is it really still?
Trust me, we lived the Walking Dead years. We understand.
I know you guys do. I know. Oh God, you guys love
people love the unpredictability of it. It's almost like a task to find them or be at the right spot to find them.
That's true.
Right. People love to.
Well, I mean, obviously, and then by the end of the event, you knew where they were going to be because they didn't. Change it. They kept it in you know, over by Mel's Diner there.
It was still eerie if you caught it. We're just because they came out one at a time. So all of a sudden you just saw Megan go walking by. Oh.
All right. So moving on to the last scare zone. So, I mean, there is no mistaking like what this picture is.
Yeah.
It is the Blumhouse symbol that you would see at the beginning of their movie or, you know, for their logo, that kind of thing. And it does have the movie reel in it. So it's saying that it's an IP. If it's coming, great. So I'm gonna save Liz for this because I think Liz has some crazy thoughts about this. So Ash, I'm going to go to you first. What do you think if this is an actual Blumhouse zone?
I mean, plenty of properties to work with. You know, it's a big zone, Hollywood, and Hollywood's been on the up. You know, recently there's been some good zones there.
Uh-huh.
Blumhouse properties on the streets. Purge has worked pretty well. You know, the 2 years the Purge was there, but they're not going to do an old Purge. So I don't know. I just don't know how this is going to work. Are they going to have little stages up there with these sort of, I guess, the icons of, Blumhouse? I don't know. I'm interested to see what Liz has got to say. But
yeah,
you take over, Liz. You take over, please.
Not yet, Liz. Not yet, Liz.
You go first, Tim. Yeah.
I really think this is going to be exactly what you just said. This is going to be small stages everywhere in this zone, and they're going to pick whatever movies they're going to pick from the Blumhouse catalog, and you're just going to have them characters out front, on stage, some walking down, and whatever. I hate to say it, I'm not expecting a ton from this zone if that's what it is, because realistically, how much can you do? And if it is a Blumhouse, do we get characters that we haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
So everybody's been clamoring and asking about a Five Nights at Freddy's house, right? Could this be an opportunity for them to have a small little stage and have, animatronic looking stuffed Freddy just hanging out? Because didn't they come out somewhere for a meet and greet and photos or something somewhere? Was it here or Hollywood?
Hollywood, it must have been.
Hollywood, right?
Yeah, I think it was Hollywood.
And then we had the little walkthrough Blumhouse.
The photo op thing.
Yeah,
the
photo
op
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if maybe that could be included in there because we know we're not getting a house. Any thoughts?
I wonder if those two crazy looking girls from Exorcist Believer are going to be back this year.
Ooh, they could be in there too, huh? It'd be fun.
I could see it.
I don't know.
Easy, right? I just did it last year.
I mean, yeah. All right, let's get it to Liz. Let's hear Liz's thoughts on this because I'm very curious.
I don't think I have that much of a hot take. For Hollywood specifically, I do not like the idea of IP zones taking over Hollywood just because we get two major zones, Hollywood and New York, and I just don't like to see it wasted on an IP. I think if it were San Fran, sure, just throw a bunch of random characters in there, but I just don't know how you're going to put enough theming in Hollywood unless you do the stages, and we've seen the stages a million times. So it's just hard for me to go from Graveyard 2 years ago and the excellence of that zone to then thinking about having just a Blumhouse mashup zone taking over Hollywood. I know general public will be happy to see all the characters they know, and a lot of horror fans will too. I'm not gonna say that it's only the general public, but I just think for Halloween Horror Nights, I want those two zones to be original content and just to live in them.
All right, listen, I mean, nothing is set in stone. We don't know that this is definitely coming, so...
I do have one good news thing, though.
All right, what do we got?
If it's Blumhouse, maybe they won't put the Scream in there.
It's going to be somewhere.
It'll be somewhere else. It'll be in a different zone. It'll probably be with the damn kids in San Francisco.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
Oh my god! Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how I feel about a Blumhouse zone. I really don't, because I really feel like that's what it's going to end up being, is just these little stages.
Yeah.
And it's just not really gonna. I mean, I get it. It's a montage of Blumhouse, but I feel like it's just not going to make sense.
Yeah. I'm with you.
We're just going to have all these random characters everywhere and on stages and stuff. Granted, and it could blow our minds, when we get there.
Know.
Never know.
You never know.
So, but that's it for the spec map. What else we got, guys?
I've got one thing. Liz, you go first.
I will say that we did get confirmation this past week or the week before that the museum deli exhibits is correct on the map because it already has a facade up and we've seen pictures.
Ooh.
Yes, so, not only that, Slaughter Cinema 2 has got the Carrie drive-in screen.
Ooh, I missed that. I haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
That was I think that was just put up today. So
I'll have to look for that.
Yeah. We're not going to get really into it, but I do want to mention that also the 4th portal for Epic Universe was announced. And at least for our neck of the woods, it was kind of important. We knew it was coming, but we just didn't know when it was going to get announced. But, Dark Universe at Epic, I think this area looks absolutely incredible. And I can't wait to see the flaming, what is it
Flaming
called?
windmill?
The flaming windmill. That thing looks awesome. And there's a tavern under it, which is even cooler.
Wait.
Yeah.
I feel like we could do an entire show just on that, like during off season when Halloween Horror Nights is over and we just want to talk spooky stuff. We could do an entire episode on that.
Have you guys both been to the preview center yet?
Yes.
Not yet.
Did you do the augmented reality on the app?
So I did, but Dark Universe hadn't been announced yet, so I didn't get to see the Dark Universe items.
So I went before and after. Yeah, so I've been before and after Dark Universe was. But it's really cool. So if you do the AR term on your app, if you point it at the windmill, it starts burning on your app.
Oh, that's awesome.
So really cool.
Yes.
Very cool.
Can't wait. And
then
the whole video was just
so
amazing. Good. Just like the whole, oh my God. Like I cannot wait to see all of these characters walking around because they claim that there's going to be a lot of monsters for meet and greets. And I think that's, come on, that's going to be incredible.
Yeah, cannot wait.
I do have a quick question though, because I don't think I really know too much. Obviously I know there's some kind of roller coaster, right? Because there's 2 attractions and then some kind of dark ride.
Yeah, it's like Forbidden Journey. So it's a Kuka arm.
Okay. Okay. That makes sense. Nice.
Yeah. And the Cursed Werewolf, is it the roller coaster?
Yeah.
Yes. Excellent. And then what?
Monsters Unchained.
Monsters Unchained.
Monsters Unchained. Yes. And then what's the name of the restaurant? The Steakhouse.
Yes.
But it's spelled STAKE, right?
Yes. Run by vampires.
Run by vampires, which I think is
amazing.
absolutely hilarious. So.
And in the tavern, you get like monster hunters coming in, like a Van Helsing type. People walking around.
Okay, we could talk about this forever.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
exactly.
Yes.
I just wanted to mention it that it's out there. We will definitely probably do a whole episode on that portion of the park when it opens because I know all of us are going to go to it. So
100%.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, is that it? Do we have anything else?
One last thing.
Oh, Ash, I'm sorry. Go.
No, you're good. What time we're recording? We're Friday. What day is it today? 28th. Friday the 28th. So Universal did release the Discover Universal podcast. It's season 2 now. 3 new hosts. It's not Carrie and David anymore. There's 3 new hosts on there now. But the first installment of Halloween Horror Nights, Echoes from the Fog. And the first episode is Monstrous, Monsters of Latin America. And it just says Discover Universal presents Halloween Horror Nights, Echoes from the Fog, an anthology series exploring the stories behind Halloween Horror Nights' original creation. So this is probably going to be the first of 6, I would assume, unless they did, because they did some for the Scare Zones last year. They did Vamp last year, so they could have Scare Zones too. So it's 21 minutes. I shall be listening to that tomorrow on my little walk in the morning, I think.
It was pretty good. I listened to it already on my way home today. And I actually enjoyed it because it was more of a story.
Okay.
That I was listening to instead of like them telling me like, oh, I'm going to see this in the house. I'm going to see this in the house.
That's why I hadn't listened yet.
Yeah.
I didn't want spoilers.
It was more of like an actual story of
good.
Cause is there 3 different monsters that we're gonna get? I think that they've already, I can't remember their names. One looks like a crazy owl or something, right? Like the bird or whatever, and then whatever the
I can't quote it.
But they basically go in and talk about that and how it's like children's, like some of them are children's, like childhood like nightmares and stuff.
Boogeyman.
Yeah, basically. So
and just while we're on the topic there too, Hollywood announced Monstrous 2. I know we don't cover Hollywood, but
right,
it's pretty cool because that got rave reviews last year, Monstrous. So
yeah,
number 2 right away is pretty cool.
It is awesome, very very cool. All right, well, before we get out of here, is there anything lastly we want to talk about? Liz, you have anything else? All right,
nope,
Ash, what about you? Sorry,
nothing. I'm good. I think we covered everything. Cool. Did a good job. Good job, team.
All right, great. All right, who wants to take it? Where can people find us at?
Come on, Liz.
Wow, he just threw you under the bus, Liz.
He just threw me. He was like, here you go. So they can find us at RIP Tour Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. We have a Discord where you can come hang out with us there. And of course, YouTube, if you're already watching, make sure to like and leave us a comment about this show. And then we have a Spreadshirt. So if you're looking for some Halloween goodies, some new clothes to wear to the event this year, we got you covered.
Yeah, we just added actually, I shouldn't say we just added. I have to ask Gary. But we did have a new logo that our lovely friend Ash did for us. We had no idea she was doing it, and I think it turned out fantastic. So we have another alternative logo action going on. So if it's not up there yet, it will be soon for shirts and hats and whatever else you guys want to get it on. So. Yep. But that's it for us. Nothing else is going on. Hopefully we get another announcement soon. I mean, we literally only have 2 houses left. And then I'm assuming it's like the information dump at the end. Food, shows, scare zones, all that kind of good stuff. So, and guys, we're at the end of June right now, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
2 months. 2 months until HHN starts. How crazy is that?
I cannot wait.
Crazy.
2 months.
Can't wait.
Please announce the damn tickets already so I can take care of that, please. Thank you. No, I don't think they were announced till July last year anyway. So
yeah, I'm expecting it
I
about 2 weeks from now.
Yeah, so
it's burning a hole in my pocket. This $700.
Yeah, buddy. I bet you can't wait to just spend that, right? Anyway, that's it for us this time. We'll talk to you guys on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.